This shop looks popular today. Butterfly Do Cosmetics. Now, oh, Seedween's here too. Hey there, Seedween!
Hello there, Traveler and Paimon. I hope you're keeping yourselves fit and healthy.
You bet we are. So anyway, what are you doing?
The Duke insists I take regular vacations in the Court of This one just so happened to coincide with a promotion for a new skincare product, so I came over to take a look. I like to keep up with the latest industry developments when I can.
Wait, you write?
It's called Beautés en Fleur, and it's run by the Fontaine Beauty Association. I've done...
Oh, wow! You're a maritime flower? If Paimon's not... What's so weird about that? Everyone loves beauty!
I really like this role.
Well, they sure don't want to make an enemy of the maritime flower. Obviously, it's because of Seedween's love for beauty.
The truth is, I study this field because I cherish...
Oh, the words of a master...
Not really. Actually, Melusine aesthetics are very different from human ones. We don't view humans based on their appearance. If I had to describe our approach, I'd say it's based on cuteness.
Oh!
Yep. Still, it turns out my knowledge and experience is pretty popular with beauty product lovers.
Oh, Paimon gets it now! Ooh, wait, sorry!
No, I don't mind if you're...
A shape-shifting story?
Long ago, humans rejected Melusines, and Melusines feared humans. There was one Melusine who became fascinated with human medicine, but no human wanted her help. And there was one girl who liked Melusines, so no humans would make friends with her. So, the Melusine became the girl's friend, and the girl became the Melusine's patient. Your checkup's all done. You're still in perfect health.
Thank you, Dr. Melusine.
In this game of doctor and patient, a friendship was born. Then, one day, the girl fell ill. The Melusine was the only doctor to arrive on time, but the adults sent her away.
Scram! Melusines can't be trusted!
So just because I'm not human, I can't save my best friend? In desperation, the Melusine approached the frightening witch. She begged and begged until she got a reply.
If you take this potion, concocted of sin, you will gain a human face and grow human limbs. But then, you will lose everything that attracted this friend of yours to you in the first place. Can you accept that?
The Melusine did not hesitate for very long. On a rainy night, a little doctor knocked on the girl's door. The doctor wore a hood and raincoat, maybe to protect her from the rain, but maybe also to hide a secret. The little doctor held the girl's hand and treated her illness, just as she had so many times before. Dawn came, and the little girl's condition improved. But the little doctor was long gone, for she knew her friend would never recognize her again. And so, since then, I've lived my life in human form. Most people who know me just think I was born this way.
Ooh. A witch? A potion? Why does this sound like a fairy tale?
Trust me, it's a true story.
Must be the way you told it then. It just sounds... Yeah. Not every Melusine would take human form to save their human friend. That must have been a...
Treating patients is a doctor's duty. We must...
It's so crazy that they turned you away just because you were a Melazine. Especially when they're
Well, sometimes appearance can be a real barrier. But that was a long time ago.
Paimon too! You're super cute this way.
Attention customers! Thank you all for waiting. Now, on behalf of our skincare partner, I'm delighted to announce that our
Oh, there we go. Let's have a look, shall we? Paimon, if you want to buy any skincare products, I'll be happy to give you some suggestions.
Really? Personal advice right from a leader of the Fontaine Beauty Association? What an honor!
Allow me to introduce our newest skin lotion, Butterfly Dew. I'm sure many of you. To say that it improves skin quality is an understatement. This product gets its name from the way it transforms your... We are thrilled to have the inventor of this fantastic product with us.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Rawat, and I developed Butterfly Dew.
Wow. What? He's a researcher? Well,
It seems that I'm well aware that researchers are generally better known for their brains than their... Of course, appearance is It can rob a young person of their self... But what if I told you that those shackles can... If our appearance prevents us from changing, then let us first change our appearance itself. Wash away moles, birthmarks, and wrinkles, and they can no longer rob us of our confidence. Replace them with luster and radiance, and we shall never... That is why Butterfly Dew exists. Its mission is to allow us to shed our pupae, undergo a complete metamorphosis, and embrace a new life.
Well, whether it actually works or not, after that speech...
Mr. Rawat, could I ask if you've used this product yourself?
Of course, I tried it many times while I was testing it. You can consider me a...
Wow, then it's sure to...
Still, I don't expect to convince you just by blowing my own trumpet. So, could I get a volunteer from the audience to try it out?
Oh, Paimon volunteers!
Oh! Ah, what an honor! It appears we have a giant of the Fontaine Beauty Association here with us. In that case,
Sure.
Whoa. Is that Maritime flower? They say she's the pickiest
here you go.
Well, it's very kind to the skin, and the absorption rate is high. Even for Fontaine.
Wow, now that's high praise!
I'll take one. Any discount?
All right. Well, all that remains for me to say is...
Think we should buy a bottle too? Aww, really? Well, it's still good to care. And if you're worried about whether it's the right product for you, well, luckily for us, Seedream's here.
It's an honor to receive such high praise from you.
With most skincare. Oh, yeah, this one. Don't worry, though.
Oh, I would...
Seedream? Oh, excuse us. That's right, and
Butterfly Dew is made for all skin types, so no matter who you are, you can rest assured that it will be kind to your skin.
why would it work better on Fontainians?
In the interests of protecting my trade secrets, I'm afraid I can't answer.
Alright then. How about a friend disc?
Save yourself the trouble. I'd be greatly honored to have both of you use my product. Here.
Yay! Paimon's private fund survive.
I can see why you might think that, but please don't misunderstand. This gift is simply a token of my esteem. There's no business motivation behind it. To me, finding new customers for Butterfly Dew is about meeting kindred spirits.
Admirers of physical beauty. Eesh, that's embarrassing.
It's nothing to be ashamed of, Miss Paimon. Most people claim to desire inner virtue, but it's still physical. This is a fact of life.
You're right. Everyone.
Look at the time. My apologies, but I have other things to attend to. I'll leave you with these 2 bottles of Butterfly Dew, and I look forward to seeing...
Paimon, I'd say there's no need for you and the Traveler to use this product for now.
Why? Is there?
The quality is fine. I just think there's room for improvement. I think I could add some ingredients to the mix to make it more effective.
Really? Then why didn't you tell Rawat about that?
Researchers are a very special breed of human. You can point out their flaws to their face and they won't mind very much. But if you tell them that someone else could do a better job, ooh, now that, if I'd mentioned it, he probably wouldn't have given you those 2 bottles for free.
Huh, fair enough, that makes sense.
If you're interested in the more effective version, I can write up a list of ingredients for you. Just come get me once you've gathered them.
When you say more effective, you mean it'll make Paimon even prettier?
As for me, it's probably...
Alright, see you there then! Just up ahead, traveler! The ingredients for Siegeween should be nearby.
Transfixed!
Nowhere to hide. Yoo-hoo! Let's head to the Fortress of Mirapede! Whoa, the infirmary is...
Please, you have to believe me. I saw it with my own eyes last night. Another me! He looked exactly like me.
Got it? Okay. I've written down everything you told me. Now, I have a few tests to run. First, which finger am I holding up?
Your index finger, but I'm telling you, my
Very good. Now, on to the next.
Hey there, Your Grace. It's been a while, huh?
Ah, it's you two. Indeed it has. I would offer you some tea, but I'm afraid
No worries. Actually, we were looking for Siege.
this inmate came running to the guards in a panic, claiming to have seen his exact...
A doppelganger? Doesn't that just mean someone else
And that's what I thought when the report first reached my desk. But we've inspected our records. No one even vaguely resembles him. Considering how certain he is of what he saw, I can only surmise that he's having some mental issues.
All right, very good. Take a sip of water and rest for a bit. Evaluation complete. I couldn't find any symptoms pointing to...
I see. So do you still believe there's more likely to be an issue with his...
I have to assume so for now. Psychological issues are more difficult to detect.
The rumor mill will go crazy if word of this gets out. The Marechaussee Phantom has requested my cooperation on a case, otherwise...
No problem, Your Grace. I'll let him...
By the way, we have a couple of guests here who have made the trip just to see you. I imagine...
Oh, Traveler!
Hey there, Siege. It's actually...
I'll be in my office if you desperately need me.
Okay, bye-bye. So,
Would you mind waiting for just a moment? I have another patient to see. Just find an empty bed.
Oh, sure.
Sigewinne, we've brought him. And he seems to have taken a turn for the worse.
Okay, don't panic. Let's start by sitting him down here.
Paimon had no idea how busy it can get for Siege. Good point. Besides, it might actually be interesting to observe her at work.
Well, this could hurt, so I suggest you take a deep breath first.
Did his face melt? What happened?
It's anyone's guess. His face melted off shortly after arriving at the fortress. But since he's a serious offender, he can't be allowed out for medical treatment. Best we can do for now is... this is gonna be awkward. We still need to bring him to the Marechaussee Phantom for questioning.
The Marechaussee Phantom? Does this have something to do with the case Risley?
Yep, it was a huge case. They bagged a few dozen crooks in one fell swoop. And this guy's the baddest apple of the bunch.
You done gawking?
Not yet. I need to check the severity of your ulcers to decide the right dose. Don't worry. We Melazines have a very different sense of aesthetics from humans. To me, you just look like a little kitty with slightly scruffy fur, but...
Don't patronize me. Do I look like a kid to you? Just give me the meds and let me out of here.
Hey, lose the attitude. You dare talk back to our head
Oh, it's fine. Okay, I'm going to apply the medication.
Look how nice Sigewinne's being. And he's...
Can I leave now?
Wow, not a peep. Oh,
Thank you, Sigewinne. And I apologize for the...
so, Traveler, Paimon, did you bring the ingredients?
We did, but we don't want to interfere.
Oh, don't be silly. I agreed to it. Do not take a rest here if you...
Or alternatively... That's right! Let us help you out! It's the...
Good point. Kind-hearted humans start to... don't worry. I'll take a look at my schedule. I'm sure I can find something to treat this condition. I gotta warn you, though. It'll be tiring work. So I suggest you take a break first.
We're ready, Sigewinne! What's our first mission?
I found the perfect job for the Traveler. First, I'd like you to lie down in this bed.
What for?
I need you to pretend to be sick.
What?
Oh, is it that difficult?
Oh, so you...
I sure did. He was way more interesting than...
Well, this is awkward.
No time to explain. My next patient will be here any second. Oh, please, just do as I say. You can, pretend like you've got a nasty headache. And throw in some dry heaving for good measure.
Okay.
Duck. It's me.
Well, your mother has enough on her plate with a busy job. The last thing she needs is to worry.
I know. I shouldn't treat the place like a playground. Shouldn't go swimming. I thought I'd be able to have some fun here at the fortress for a few days, but it's always...
All right, sit yourself down and I'll take your temperature.
But Doc, it's so bitter. Do I really have to drink it? I mean, I'll be fine, right? I've got an uncle who caught a cold. Can't you just write me a note saying I'm on the mend?
I sure can.
Huh?
Well, if you want to rely on your own immune system to clear up your fever, then you'll have to tough it out like this.
Hang in there, traveler! Are you gonna puke? Paimon can get you a paper bag!
Huh?
As long as you're tough enough to get through the nausea and dizziness caused by the high fever, you'll be right as rain after just a few days' rest.
And if I'm...
Hey! Wake up! Wake up!
Put it this way. At least you'll never have to see the doctor.
I think...
Oh, of course. Here, it's still warm.
It's so bitter.
All done. Great job, you...
That kid really doesn't know what's good for him.
His mother's a guard here. She's been working back-to-back shifts lately. But unfortunately, his father's away on a business trip right now. He was quite happy at first. He seemed to...
So you made us put on that act just to scare it? Oh, you had a teacher? Was she a
She was human.
Oh, so...
No, it's fine. She was a traveling...
She sounds like a pretty...
strict. Well, that's not how my teacher...
Strange way for a doctor to describe them...
Oh,
wow, yeah, okay, that'll take...
Yep. All the children
Why does it almost sound...
Oh, because I am.
A doctor who looks like a witch. True, they wouldn't dare try anything funny with her.
Oh, me, on the other hand...
That's actually a good thing, you know?
Oh, my next patient should be arriving now. Would you mind...
Sure thing! On to the next...
Well, thanks.
Aww. Should we get some rest?
Oh, there...
Confidential?
Oh, it's fine.
Wait, you mean...
My patient...
Considering even the chefs...
You want to find out? I can teach you. The ingredients are ready. Now, put them on the... First, we add this special slime...
Yeah, really...
Next up, xenochromatic crystals.
Wait, are those from Fontimer Aberrants? Are you sure they're...
Finally, we'll need some high-protein meat. Frogs are an excellent choice.
Oh!
And we're done. All that's left now. Yesterday in the production zone, I noticed an inmate who's been working for 2 days straight.
Siegewing really does have the inmate's best interest.
Ah, head nurse.
Just the one today. The serial numbers...
Sounds good. I'll make sure it gets delivered.
Sounds like they're talking in code.
Thanks for your help.
Oh, it's snow...
That won't do. If you reduce your sleeping hours any further, your health will...
All right. Nurse's orders.
Well, I'm done with work for today. Thanks for...
Seems like the guards and staff here have a lot of respect for you, Seedream.
Head nurse, please, wait. I'm sorry to disturb you this late at night, but I think you'll agree.
Okay, just relaxing.
The guard at the observation ward, Odilon, he told me to pass on a message to you. One of the inmates there, the guy suffering from possible hallucinations, well, he seems to have made a sudden recovery, and now he wants to apply for permission to leave the ward.
Huh.
You were right to tell me. I'll have to...
Looks like we've got one job as medical assistant.
Ah, head nurse, you're finally here. I'm so sorry for all the trouble after giving it some...
I totally
Again,
Oh, not at all.
your pinky.
All right, I'll indicate...
So it was a stress-induced hallucination?
Well, we've...
Please, head nurse, you shouldn't blame yourself. I'm just still... Thanks for looking after me. I'll be as good as new after a good night's sleep.
It can be difficult to relax in an I suggest you take 2 days off to focus on your recovery.
Great. I can't...
Mr. Odilon, could you escort him back?
Of course. I'm on guard duty in the administrative area.
Guess you're finally done for the day now, huh?
Yep.
Oh, no rush!
Well, tomorrow it is.
Oh, don't you worry! Yeah, sleep time. Paimon really did sleep like a log. Whoa! How is the infirmary even busier than yesterday?
Good morning, Traveler and Paimon. I have a few people here for a checkup, so...
No problem. Anything we can do to help?
There's a bit of a complicated situation here. I'm still...
You have to believe me. I'm telling the truth.
You're in a medical facility. Keep it...
Please, listen to me. I'm not Gascon. I'm Uy.
You're a horrible liar, you know that? We get all your mugshots with the arrest warrants. It's clear as day that you're Gascon.
You mean because of the way I look? I don't know what happened. I just woke up like this. Then you guys dragged me in here for an interrogation.
I brought you here to figure out what's going on. If you truly are the victim of an injustice, yelling isn't going to achieve anything. At most, it'll delay your vindication.
All right.
This is nuts. Yesterday...
Morning, Your Grace. What's going on?
Remember the case I mentioned yesterday? The one brought to me by the Marechaussee Phantom? Well, we've been questioning the...
That's even weirder than what that guy was saying yesterday.
The thing is, none of them have been able to provide any evidence whatsoever to support their claims. Questioning them further got us nowhere, so for now, we've brought them to the infirmary.
And we thought yesterday yesterday was as busy as it got for...
We've compiled their statements. Have a look.
Wait.
Release? Interesting. The inmates they spoke of in their
I noticed that too. If that's their plan, they're underestimating us a little. Every serious offender claims that there's someone else who just so happens to be due for release today. And they're...
All the more reason to be cautious. Lumberzar, check the release list for today and make sure no one gets processed. We're gonna need an excuse, though. Just say we're out of forms, and that we're furiously printing more as we speak.
I'm on it.
It's conceivable that our group of serious offenders somehow found a way to switch places with inmates who are about to be released, so they can walk out right under our noses.
We did consider that possibility. But I mean, just look at them. They match the warrants, period. How could there have been a switch?
Only if they're dead ringers for the inmates due for release, I suppose. I gave you that name list yesterday to assist in your investigation.
Yes, the inmates' mugshots were attached to the list. The first thing I did was check for look. The only other thing that stands out to me is that their voices sound a little different today. But it's not exactly...
Oh, really?
Give me a moment. I think I have a way to go. I know, it's not time to change your dressing yet, but please...
Huh?
This should be Honore. He has very severe facial ulcers, which require an operation in the hospital at the Court of Fontaine. I authorized him to leave the fortress for medical treatment under guarded...
Yes, like I told you. I'm not Putton. I'm Honore.
So there has been a swap. Well, I can see what happened in Potton's case, but how do you explain the other inmates?
No, I believe it was their faces that got switched. The method is a bit like replacing a tooth. Take the bad tooth out, put a false one in. Traveler, Paimon, do you remember?
Yeah, sure do.
Then you can be my witnesses. To start with... So, you're Eric?
Yes, head nurse. It's me. You...
I need to do another examination on you.
All right. It's the cognition test first, right?
Now, try to recall if you can. The last time we did this test, which finger did...
I believe it was... your index finger.
But that means...
Huh?
So, basically, last night, the Eric who said he saw another him suddenly recovered and applied to leave the observation ward. Siegewing did another test before letting him leave, but that time, she held up her pinky finger.
Huh? I don't know about any test last night. There was nothing to do in the observation ward, so I went straight to bed. Then I somehow...
Well, in that case, there is a reasonable explanation for the...
So, what exactly happened?
The gang of serious offenders wanted to break out of prison, so they identified a group of scapegoats, namely inmates whose terms were almost up, and planned to switch appearances with them. Last night, when Odilon was on duty, they ambushed him and had one of their group switch appearances with him using their face-swapping method. That allowed them to avoid scrutiny from the... Then, once all the other inmates were asleep, Odilon spent his night shift carrying out the remainder of theirs. However, they made one mistake. Henri changed his appearance to match Eric's earlier than he should have done, and ended up being spotted by the real Eric. Real Eric came to the guards for help, but we didn't know then what we know now, so we put it down to hallucination and sent him to the observation ward. However, since one of the gang members was posing as a guard, they simply changed real Eric's appearance and had their Eric take his place. muddying the waters even further.
Right, because I'd put Eric on the observation list by then, and no inmates on that list can be processed for departure until I've discharged them.
Hence why the imposters had to pull that little stunt to get fake Eric off the list.
Yeah, it all makes sense now! The Duke cracked the case!
Well, I can't fault the reasoning. But I'm afraid that we ruled out the possibility of face switching very early on in this process.
Criminals altering their facial appearance to commit crimes is nothing new. In fact, one of the explicit duties of the Melusines in the Marechaussee Phantom is to identify criminals in disguise. We carefully examined all the suspects, and there is no evidence that any means of disguise were used in this case.
Huh. Well then, how do we explain all this?
So far, it seems more likely that the gang stole documentation belonging to the inmates due for release, and are using that to commit identity fraud.
Actually, there is a potion that can completely change someone's appearance. If they use that, even a Melusine wouldn't be able to detect it.
A shape-shifting potion?
Forgive me, head nurse, but this is the first time I'm hearing about it. If such a potion truly existed, it would jeopardize our entire investigative process at the Marechaussee Phantom. Are you certain of this?
Yes, I am.
But
please, trust me in my professional—
At the same time, without any solid evidence, it's pure speculation. If we can round up all the— Yep.
Okay. Well, it was our negligence that meant we had to come and conduct these post-internment interrogations.
Your Grace, bad news. I paused the releases like you asked, but we were too late. A bunch of people already got processed 2 hours ago. I checked the list, and sure enough, it's all—
2 hours ago? That's before today's interrogations began.
So there really was a switch after all.
We should be able to catch up with them if we leave now, right?
Not if that potion is real. They can just switch faces again after leaving the fortress. And if the Marechaussee's Melusines can't even spot them—
Yikes! So we're at a complete dead end!
Well, technically there is one more lead we could follow up on. We were only able to arrest this gang thanks to the help of a researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute.
Oh? Rawat? Isn't that the handsome guy we met at that skin—
Handsome? Maybe from a human. One of the crimes this gang is charged with is the manufacture and sale of illicit drugs. According to Mr. Rawat, they appear to have stolen technology he developed through his research and used it in their operation. At first, he thought it was a typical case of intellectual property infringement, and he tried to negotiate with them. But once he discovered their criminal operation, he reported them to the authorities. Thanks to his report, we were able to swoop in and arrest them all in one go.
What a hero! But that took—
No doubt. This is worth following up on. As the one who snitched on them, it's highly likely that Rawat will be targeted by— That aside, since he's negotiated with them in person before, there's a chance he'll have some—
Understood, Your Grace. My team and I will head to the Fontaine Research Institute right away. In the meantime—
Of course.
Miss Morgan, I'd like to come along and help—
Huh?
Well, I'm the one who discharged the fake Eric last night.
Don't say that, head nurse. Look, head nurse, I completely—
Don't worry, I can defend myself.
You say that.
If I may, Miss Morgan, Sigewinne is the one who raised the potion hypothesis, and I'm sure— And if you really are worried for her safety, that— Ah, there you go, right on cue.
Okay. Well, since this plan has the Duke's blessing—
The sun is out. Our work's done.
Greetings. Sorry to impose, but I'm afraid we're here on urgent business. And we're gonna need you—
The marsh is a phantom. Let me guess, you're investigating some more—
Not this time, no. We're looking for a researcher.
What? Oh yeah, Mr. Handsome, right? He actually doesn't work on site here very often. There's a handful of researchers in the nearby area who know him pretty well, though. You can see what they know.
Just a handful? Paimon figured he'd be the most popular.
Well, I guess you could say he's popular, at least on a superficial level. He's blessed with good looks, so he tends to make a good for— But in all his time here at the Fontaine Research Institute, I don't think he's ever had a single deep conversation about his research with—
That's so weird. He definitely didn't come across like a recluse at that product promotion.
I don't find that weird at all. He definitely didn't strike me as the kind of guy who's, good at—
Really? Paimon couldn't tell.
Okay, we should talk with his acquaintances. But we also need to check the Research Institute for any clues.
Sure thing. We'll go ask around among— Sorry to bother you, sir, but are you Bertram?
Who's asking?
Just some concerned citizens helping out the
Not anymore, we're not. Turns out we don't see eye to eye.
Oh yeah? What
The thing about us researchers is, most of us do what we do for some sort of higher purpose. But not Rawat. All he cared about was how to He won't even let you work with him unless you sign a confidentiality agreement first. Now that I've got my own technical solution for my compressor, I don't need to work with him anymore.
So that's what Rawat is really like.
We'd still like to know where to find him.
Wait, you're... Yeah, I know you. You're the head nurse at the Fortress.
Wow, turns out Seedween's got some—
Thing is, I have no real way of knowing where he might be. I stopped working with him 2 months ago, but if you want my advice, I'd say go talk to the peddlers.
Peddlers?
Yeah, back when I was working with him, the little I overheard was
Drugs? Doesn't he work with skink?
Who knows? I never cared to find out.
Thank you. You've given us
Welcome. Goodbye, and may we both...
Are you in?
What do you want?
We're here to ask about Rawat.
Close?
Huh?
It's been a good few days since...
would the pack...
Yeah, kinda. Butterfly do, or whatever.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Most of the other researchers here focus on mechanics, energy, stuff like that. I get why he wouldn't be interested in having... But I'm studying coatings. There's a huge overlap in our areas of research. Why would he refuse to work? I bought his product once and noticed it contains a unique substance that might have applications in coatings too. If it worked out, I could Don't get me wrong. I had no intention of plagiarizing his work. I was hoping to get official permission to use his findings in my own research. But despite that, he turned me down not once, not twice, but 3 times. It's like...
Huh, so is Rawat Well, it doesn't look like we're gonna get any info about...
wait, 1 second. Mr. Antibes, next time you go shopping, you should buy some Buell fruits.
Huh?
excuse us. Are you Audrey?
That's me. What is...
Are you close friends with Rawat? We're trying to...
Close friends? You mean because I told him I had feelings for him once? I doubt I'm the first or last at the Institute to make that mistake. Why would you single me out as a close friend? I should have known, really. Men like him, they just enjoy...
Okay.
Why would I know where he's at? I barely know him, and he
Ugh, this is getting annoying. Shall we go ask someone else?
I think she knows Rawat better than she cares to admit. If we leave now, it might be a wasted opportunity.
Maybe, but we're not going to get much out of her while she's in...
She's displaying symptoms common.
It's curable.
Oh, we're still no closer to finding Mr. Rawat. Oh, by this point, he could be in grave danger.
Danger? Wait, why are you looking for him again?
Oh, that's right, yeah! The Marshosei Phantom said that he's been targeted by some pretty bad people. We need to...
What? How has this happened? He seemed fine when I last saw him, and that was only a couple of days ago.
Oh, I see. Well...
Okay, but this is purely out of concern for his safety. If he's not at the Institute, he might be at it. I heard she raised him alone, that they had it pretty tough financially, and these days she's housebound due to illness. He makes regular trips back home to check on her.
Oh, okay.
Nope, sorry. I only found out the thing about his mother because it came up in conversation once. I was just trying to find out more about him, so I could get to know him better. When I told him I had a crush on him, I offered to help him take care of his mother. And yeah, maybe that was a stupid idea, but did he really have to yell at me for it? It's like, fine, I can take no for an answer, but what's with the temper tantrum? Unbelievable.
Looks like her love syndrome is flaring up again.
We need to find out Mr. Rawat's mother's address. Let's check with the Marshosei officers when we
Cool, sounds like a plan. Well, that's all 3 researchers. Let's head back to the meetup point. Hyman started out thinking...
So, what's your view of him?
A handsome researcher whose difficult upbringing turned him into a
So, your thoughts about...
Well, his looks are kind of a big deal. At least in Pine...
You can't judge a person solely...
Head nurse. Traveler.
Bertram mentioned Rawat's involvement with some pharmaceutical merchants. Do you know if he's
Since he was a whistleblower on such a huge case, I ran a background check on him.
How strange. If he was so focused on commercializing his research and averse to... Maybe he and his business partners needed to avoid public...
You think he may have colluded with the gang?
Isn't that pretty unlikely, though?
Most children who come to me with tooth decay have suffered pain for a long time already.
I saw him when he came to make his report, and You mentioned that he comes from a poor family. So, it's possible that the criminals approached him, asking for academic support, luring him in with the promise of riches. By the time he discovered who they really were, he was in too deep. They had leverage on him, so he was forced to keep working for them. I've seen it happen many times before.
That does make a lot of sense. It would definitely explain why he was so unwilling to cooperate with his fellow researchers. No wonder he's so unsociable. He must be on edge all the time with a gang of crooks breathing.
In that case, the situation could... If Rawat was working with the escaped inmates, they're sure to know more about his whereabouts than us.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, he was
2 days ago? So he went missing right after that product promotion.
That was the same day he reported the criminals, too.
Don't worry, everyone.
Yeah, he must have been...
All the more reason to find him as soon as possible. The only lead...
Yep. When you register a brand, the Court of Fontaine requires you to provide a legal address. The one Rawat wrote down was in the outskirts of the city. That.
Okay.
All right. This should be the.
Okay.
Sounds like whoever's inside has restricted mobility. Oh, it seems serious. Oh, what's the fastest?
Break the door down?
No. I'll handle it. Calm down. Deep breaths. Remember your training. Control your strength. And. It's open!
Seath, take a few people and lie in wait. Keep your eyes peeled for any activity around the house. The Traveler had no.
Oh, there. On the bed, there's an old...
We could try, but she is very ill.
Well, doesn't look like Rawat's here.
Yep. Hello, ma'am. Might I ask if you're Rawat's mother? We're... hard of hearing, perhaps. Does anyone have a picture?
I have one here.
I'd like to show you a...
Looks like this isn't gonna work.
Well, looks...
Is it possible he could have avoided returning here because...
Maybe. But if so, where do we look next?
Guess so.
I suggest we all return there now. We found a good amount of use...
Sorry, officer, but could I stay here?
Of course. Traveler.
Also, I'd like...
What?
If Rawat knows how serious his mother's...
Got it.
Thanks for helping me out yet again, Traveler and Paimon.
No problem. But...
Yes, she's barely...
Oh.
Let me take care of a few things first.
Yeah, of course.
I can tell that her family has tried a lot of different treatment methods, including some very expensive
Citrin. Paimon bets being a nurse
Yes. In Melizine's eyes, a human's birth, aging, sickness, but human medicine can defy that law to some extent. In that sense, but it was only after I truly became a doctor that I realized miracles don't always happen. Even the greatest doctors cannot cure all diseases.
Citrin.
Don't worry about me, Paimon. Doctors do. At the very least, I can lower her.
Yeah. All the more...
Oh, her fever is getting worse.
Sure, we're on the case.
on the hot water?
Sure did. And look what judging by this journal, it seems like Rawat has a private...
Oh, that's great. The wet towel is ready. I'm giving you another injection. Are you feeling better now? It's all right.
Thank you. It's Officer Morgan!
We came as soon as we heard the news.
Don't blame yourself. Right,
there's a mechanical door.
It's open. Let's go in.
How did they get in here? Captain, up ahead! Those look like our fugitives!
So they found this place too? Don't let any of them escape!
This!
Laid bare! This is where you fall.
Don't blink! Time to shine!
Transfixed!
Cut to the chase!
Want to taste another test subject?
Strike a little taste! Speed of light!
Overruled! Witness my rise! Laid bare!
Eat this! With sword comes shadow!
Captain, according to our list, many of the fugitives aren't accounted for.
So these...
The Marachose Phantom!
Wait, it's that guard from the fortress!
That's right, I'm on your side. The Duke sent me. What's the matter? Some sort of mix-up?
Mr. Odilon, didn't I tell you a few days ago that you need to stop all field work until you've...
Well, you know, gotta help His Grace out. Share the load.
Officer Morgan, this man is an imposter. The real Mr. Odilon has no recent health issues.
What?
Looks like the head nurse was right about the face-swapping method. Arrest them all! DuPont, stay here and keep guard. And watch the exit. If we're not back...
Got it.
So many jars. Was this some sort of production facility?
The scent. It's probably the ingredients used.
How come they're all empty? Did it sell so well that he ran out of supplies?
How strange. Why would Rawat choose to manufacture a popular product like that in such a difficult-to-reach given our suspicion that he may have been coerced?
Perhaps better.
Do you have any evidence?
No.
Understood.
Doesn't look like we're gonna get this door open. Let's find another way around. This one's closed too! What's with those carts and tracks? Oh, maybe it's one of those doors that opens when it senses cargo passing through. There's a loaded cart right over there. Let's bring it to the door and give it a try! Don't be nervous! Just relax! Let the world collide!
Everlasting as the moon!
Don't blink! Incoming! Yoo-hoo!
Transfixed!
Speed of light! Cut to the chase! Calm down! That wasn't very nice! I swear, it's for medical research! Strike a pose! Don't blink! Hey! This room's much smaller than the others.
Judging by the implements on the table, this looks like a...
Head nurse! Over here!
Let's see. Yikes, Seedween, where...
Oh, what a tragic way to go. Especially with such a bright future ahead of him.
There's a path leading further on, Officer Morgan. Let's keep...
There's a whole bunch of people.
Are you serious? You're telling us that within a day, our faces are going to rot like yours?
Fontanian physiology changed dramatically after that great flood, and it's not as compatible with this face-changing solution as before. The side effects are as you can see.
Why didn't you say anything before we all used it?
Look, my plan got you all out of prison, didn't it? You'd have much bigger problems to worry about right now if the Marshal Say Phantom found out about your other crimes. Consider an ugly mug getting off lightly.
Ugh. You're just lucky we didn't leave you in there after you disappeared on us with no warning. We only let it slide because we're former partners. And now you have the...
Partners? Make no mistake, each of us is only looking out for himself. If you place too much trust in others, well, I'm afraid that's your... You hid things from me too. Remember how you each had a spare potion? You kept quiet about it until we planned the...
Oh, and you didn't have a secret spare? Then do you want to explain how you melted your face off before all this?
Guys, that's enough. Calm down. It is what it is. Arguing won't change. What's the plan, Parton? I'm assuming you brought us here for a reason?
There is no plan. We followed him here on the promise of more juice. But it turns out there ain't a... Besides, what does it matter now anyway? He already said, even if we did get our hands on more of that stuff, switching faces again solves nothing. They're still gonna melt off eventually.
I said enough arguing!
The most practical solution is to continue using the potion. Keep switching to a new face before the ulcers can start forming.
Are you kidding me? This stuff was hard enough to get a hold of even when we had a supply. Now you're asking us to use it like skin lotion, after the flood all but wiped...
Well, there is another option. But you'll have to make a deal with me first.
Okay, now we're talking. What's the deal?
I have a document I took from that researcher that details how to make a replacement. Just give me one bottle of the undiluted fluid, and I'll get to work. What's the problem? I thought you always kept reserves. Or do you really?
What do you think? That we were shipping them into the fortress of Meripede by the basket load?
Well then, say hello to never showing your marred faces in public again.
Ugh, I've heard enough! Get him! Let's see if that document even exists!
Freeze! Marshal Say Phantom!
What? Who let them in?
Officer Morgan, before anything else, please find out Rawat's status.
Rawat?
I don't see him.
Spare us your condescending attempts to coax us back to our cells. You think we're looking to negotiate?
Parton?
Arrest them all! Don't let anyone get away!
Shower me with praise! With sword comes shadow.
Witness my rise. Overruled. Everlasting as the moon.
Another test subject.
Laid bare. Go on.
You're toast!
Freeze!
Nowhere to hide. Speed of light. Let my name echo in song!
This is where you fall. Transfixed. Laid bare. Everlasting as the moon.
With sword comes shadow. Yoo-hoo! Hold still. I swear, it's for medical research. Nowhere to hide. Let the world collide!
Transfixed. Witness my rise.
Huh. Gotta say.
Some patients respond.
Captain, we finished the.
Over there! The door's...
One group trying to arrest me, another trying to hunt me down. Good. I gotta kill two birds with one stone.
How did he get up there?
Don't waste your energy. I already sealed it up.
How naive. We have more people outside. If we're not back out by the agreed time, they'll...
Well then, you'd better hope they get here in time.
There's some kind of gas leaking from the pipes.
This is our distribution center, where we store the product derived from our source solution. We had to use special fire prevention methods to prevent the pipe network here was designed to emit a gas for firefighting. One little modification later?
Why would you do this? You're a part.
Oh, please. If they can't supply what I need, they're of no further use to me. Besides, I can't have...
He's a maniac! Come on, we gotta find a way to open...
Go ahead. Struggle in vain. Once the last of you croaks, no one will ever find me again.
Are you sure you're ready to leave?
You can't cure my face. Just give up.
And what if I could?
Nice try. You're just trying to stall me. Don't you worry about me. I'll find a way to cure my face once I get out of here.
Oh, I doubt it. After all, Fontanians can no longer dissolve in primordial seawater. The key component of the face-changing potion is the fluid left behind by dissolved Fontanians. It might look like ordinary water, but before the flood, all Fontanians were oceanids. Physiologically speaking, a potion made from that fluid could dissolve and reconstruct the face of a Fontanian, in much the same way as hydroidolins change form. Theoretically, it could give someone any appearance they wished. But since the flood, Fontanians have become true humans. They can no longer provide the source material for this potion, nor reap its benefits.
Are you saying this potion is made from Fontanians dissolved with primordial seawater?
How could you know all of this? No, wait. Of course! Well, well.
It also means that I have a formula you're unaware of.
I might get to make a deal today after all. All right, keep...
Oh, it's not a formula, but a finished product.
What?
When I tried Rawat's skincare product, I'm guessing his skin...
Huh. Impressive guesswork. But it only contains a tiny amount of the active ingredient. The effect...
Well, I found a way to reverse the dilution process, giving the skincare lotion a simple...
That's impossible.
If I tell you some of the ingredients, I think you can figure it out. First, you need to combine tainted hydrophantasm tissue with transoceanic pearls at a ratio of around 3 to 7.
Tainted hydrophantasms and transo...
So?
Sounds good to me. There's a delivery pipeline beneath this window. Drop the potion in, and I'll release you all.
Nope, not trusting you that easily. You're like those naughty kids who try to hide their illness. Open the...
Even if you're not bluffing, your potion won't cure my face permanently. You really think you... I'm not closing the valve this time.
Fine, then I'll just stand here with the potion in my hand. And when I faint from the poison, I'll drop...
No.
It's open!
Disable that sluice gate! Jam it! Don't let it close again!
That's more like it. In that case, a promise is a promise.
Head nurse, there's too much poison gas in here. We have to leave, now!
That was too close. That button!
Oh, don't be too quick to sit down. Moving around a little. Same goes for you, Trap.
Flying fast?
Shame I ended up giving the...
No, please don't. Paimon doesn't want to use that stuff anymore. Yeah, Paimon...
Head nurse, it's a shame that we...
What a horrible bunch. Especially...
No, we wouldn't.
What? Then why did you give him...
If this is true, I must concur. If he changes his appearance and flees Fontaine, it's unlikely that we'll ever find him.
No, you don't understand. I gave him the potion precisely so we could...
What do you mean?
We gotta hurry. She won't last much longer.
Don't move a muscle. I might be short, but I pack a mean punch. Captain, you're just in time. While I was lying in wait, I spotted this crook snooping around, trying to find a way in.
Oh.
Are you... Potton?
What?
This is how Potton looked before his face was marred. His current appearance matches the mugshot on his arrest.
Wait, so what's going on? Wasn't the whole point of the potion to disguise himself and escape Fontaine? Why would...
Enough of this nonsense! Let me in!
You better pipe down. There's an old lady in there who's very sick. No way are we letting a crook like you inside.
To heck with it. Listen to me. I'm Rawat. That's my mother in there.
He's gotta be lying, right? Rawat was a victim in all this. He was forced into it.
Forced against his will? Heck, when I was being coerced, everyone thought I was colluding of my own free... Amazing what a difference a handsome face makes.
Save us the speech.
You want an explanation? Fine. I'll tell it how it is. When I was just Potton, the whole world treated me with contempt.
Ew. What do you want?
Women despise me.
Collaborate? You don't look like much of a researcher to me.
My peers scorned me.
Mr. Potton, was it? I'm most interested in your research. Consider my offer carefully. I doubt you'll find other
Only villains would work with me.
You want out of the game? Forget about it. Turns out, I slipped up a little. Left your picture with some Marechaussee Phantom officers. Easy mistake. So I suggest you put any thoughts of running away to rest. If you get caught by the guards for being in the synth business, you ain't ever seeing the light of day.
There was no way out for me. Until I could stop being...
Mr. Rawat, I have something I'd like to tell you.
I became popular with women.
This new potion you developed is fascinating. Genius, in fact. Would you consider working with me?
My peers looked up to me.
I'm very interested in your research, sir. You must no doubt have
And the villains even began to fear me. Becoming Rawat showed me what a superficial work, but I did not hold a grudge. Or so I thought. But alas, the world Mother, I'm back. How are you doing?
Who are you?
I bought the best medicine Mora could buy, but nothing would cure her illness. In the end, I hoped she'd at least be able to see her son one last time before she passed, but when everyone else rejected me, the only person who cared about me was my mother.
I have to let her see me again. Even if it means donning my own... Well, is that enough explaining for you?
Have you ever considered if you'll even be able to look your mother? You found a way to completely...
What?
So you kept being...
Villain. You have no right to judge me!
You're a villain. Honestly, I
Don't humor me.
I didn't know anything for sure until you I had to confirm my suspicions.
Are you kidding me? A young, promising researcher and a wretched criminal?
Well, there were no visual clues. This potion's face-changing effects are very powerful, even as a Melazine. But I believe I understand humanity a little better than most of my kind. Humans have certain fundamental qualities that do not change with their appearance.
Fundamental qualities, huh? So you think you're the one who's seen through me, do you? Most people probably don't know this, but I think I can guess what your deal is. Melazine constitutions are very close to that of water, so it stands to reason that the potion should work on them too. You used it yourself, didn't you? That's why you have it.
Seedween?
Yes, you're right.
I'll bet it was back in the days when it was either carry on living in the gutters as part of an alien race cast out by humanity. So you see, you and I...
That's not important right now. You came here...
Huh?
Head nurse.
Don't worry. He was willing to risk sacrificing his only...
I see.
So before you arrest...
All right.
Mom? It's me, Potton. Your son. Mom!
I'm sorry, but...
What?
Your appearance no longer...
No, it can't be. I've done so much to... No!
The temperature of his palm must have changed. I'm sorry. It seems I couldn't bring him back to you after all. It's you? Oh, of course.
Mom!
No more questions, Potton.
Mom!
I'm sorry to say this, Potton, but you and I...
The wait is over, everyone! The sale of our new skincare product, Romaritime Essence, will now begin.
Another skincare promotion! And it's oh, Seedween's here too! Hey, Seedween!
Oh, Traveler Paimon.
Of course! Nurse's orders, right?
Actually, I'm mostly here to...
Ah, that reminds Paimon.
Nope, there's nothing to work. Besides, after consulting Monsieur Nervulette, I came up with a way to neutralize any harmful effects. So it'll...
Wow, it's Seedween.
Thank you for serving as our consultant, head nurse. All the butterfly dew we recovered has been...
Great! Good job,
Also, after he saw his mother for the last time, it was like all his mental defenses came crashing down. Apparently, the formula was something he discovered by chance while helping the criminal gang produce synth. Later, he came up with the idea to dilute it. Their supplier was Vache. But you could also argue that they were the ones doing him a favor. His operation helped Vache's gang dispose of an enormous amount. It made for a seamless collaboration. One man's trash was another man's treasure.
Vache again, huh? Is there still no end to the harm he caused?
Make no mistake. The crimes of Vache and his accomplices will come to an end. Since the flood cut off their supply of primordial seawater, they've been forced to resort to riskier methods, like using their private reserve to attack people on the street. Naturally, after receiving numerous reports, we were able to zero in on the gang, and eventually...
That sounds more like it!
Based on what he told us in his confession, we pretty much had him backed into a corner, even though he made a point of distancing himself from the gang while disguised as Rawat. He tried to throw us off his tail by reporting his accomplices, giving him enough time to transform back into Potton and see his mother one last time. But there was one thing he hadn't anticipated. Even though Potton had been missing for a long time, we were very much still on the lookout for him.
So he tried this once before, huh? Guess he really did want his mother to...
Looking at the
Yes, which is why... Even so.
I understand.
Why did you want them anyway?
Potton was one of my patients, so I need to put together a...
Why are you still...
That may be
One last thing, Hedner. It would be for the best if most of Fontaine knows nothing of its existence.
Of course.
Thank you for understanding.
So, Seedween, did you really use that potion yourself?
Why do you sound so surprised, Paimon? I told you all about it.
You mean that story about the witch and the potion? So it was really, actually, genuinely a...
Yes, it really, actually, genuinely...
But...
I know. There are some secrets I can't tell anyone about. But considering everything we've been through... Before I tell you, though, could you follow me somewhere?
Of course! Quiet and Risley, they're here too.
Good to see you, traveler. Paimon. I trust all has...
Big news, everyone.
Is that genuinely something people would consider big?
Why wouldn't they? Important business.
Ah, yes, you're quite right. When someone you care about requires emotion. After reading the Maréchal...
Take note. That...
So the old friend she mentioned was her teacher then? Oh, sorry. Paimon didn't...
I doubt she considers that title to be offensive, Paimon.
Indeed. In fact, I believe Sigewinne would take it as a sign of affection. She has spoken of this doctor on many occasions, and it sounds like she was... In those days, many people harbored prejudices against Melusines. She was the only...
Wow. It's really nice of you to...
Younger colleague. Well, that might be true for the Udex, but I'm not sure I can say the same. Sigewinne served a sentence in the fortress of Meripede hundreds of years ago, and after she did her time, she decided to stick around. She's been an integral part of our administration ever since. Strictly speaking, the head nurse has been around longer than most people in the fortress, myself included. Pretty sure that makes me the younger colleague.
She served a sentence?
Yes. Long before I became Udex, there was an ancient law in Fontaine that prohibited any attempt to transform another species into a human. Initially, I and most researchers believed this law to have been imposed due to ethical concerns. But now, it seems more likely that the law was nothing more than an insurance policy, a way for Egeria to ensure that her people would remain insulated from the truth, thus enabling them...
Ignorance is bliss, as they say.
Sigewinne had her reasons for choosing to obtain a human form, but the act was nonetheless in clear violation of the law.
Could you tell us a little bit more about what happened back then?
Certainly. Sigewinne does not object to her close friends learning about her history. In fact, I first learned of it myself because she
Even with their daughter so ill, they kicked you out? Stubborn as always. Shame that I don't have the energy to get over there. You're laughable, you old witch. You want to save everyone in Fontaine.
Master, what?
I discovered a strange disease. One I suspect that every Fontainian suffers from. But without witnesses, I had no choice but to experiment on myself to find a cure. But I hit a wall. And as you can see, it took a wretched toll on me.
Then I'll find a cure.
There's no need. I am beyond safe.
But, Master...
As I said before, a doctor's duty is to treat...
I know.
That girl.
I'll do whatever it takes.
Even if it means break...
As long as I don't hurt anyone.
Spoken like a true student of mine. Then I shall make one more final gamble. And if I am able to work this... If not, then it means there is one more... I will leave you a parting gift. An accidental discovery happened upon through my study of this strange disease. It has little use.
When Sigewinne returned, the miracle had not occurred. She found a potion bottle and a note on the table. After using the potion as instructed, she gained her current form, breaking, and after I had confirmed the veracity of the events,
So that's what happened.
I fear Sigewinne only understood the full story after the truth about the dissolution of Fontainians was uncovered. When I reflected on all this with that knowledge in hand, I felt a deep sense of regret. As I use the law to uphold justice, there are times when after the final details of the events surrounding Sigewinne's transformation came to light, I checked several sources and, thankfully, the legal code does not require Sigewinne to shoulder any additional punishment.
Wonder how she feels about all this.
Since she invited you here, I imagine she intends to speak of these matters with you, no?
here. The old friend I mentioned was my teacher. When she passed, her body was nowhere to be found. All that's left of her is an empty tomb. And even that's deep underwater now.
Seedwing, the witch who gave you the magic potion...
Sounds like Monsieur...
After learning the truth...
Well, to be honest, after I realized what really happened that night...
But she was planning to sacrifice her...
That's just who she was. If lying is what it took to get a kid to take their medicine...
Alright, but why did you turn your...
I broke the law, simple as that.
True. You're not like him at all, and yet...
Unfair?
What makes you say that?
I knew you'd be curious. The verdict came down. This Melusine is guilty. The Iudex defended the authority of Fontaine law, but he did not confiscate the Melusine's medical kit. And so, the Fortress of Meripede gained a new little doctor. She still wore her hood and raincoat, even though it never rained in the fortress. Perhaps thanks to her human appearance, no one refused her treatment. She treated more and more patients, and her sentence grew ever shorter. Finally, the people of the fortress could not live without her, and though her sentence ended, she did not leave them either. Then one day, she received an invitation from the outside world. The location seemed familiar, and when she arrived, an old lady was waiting for her. She saw right through the Melusine's disguise, but didn't reveal it. Instead, she asked a question.
Tell me, why do you think you gained the respect of so many people, despite being a Melusine?
Because I look like a human?
It's been 50 years, Sejuin, and you haven't aged a day. I think everyone knows you are not human. I finally found you, after all these years. I still remember, you know. It was you who saved me that night.
But how? I was no longer a Melusine by then.
Does it really matter if you're human or Melusine? I remember the warmth of your palm. It's quite unmistakable. And you know what? It hasn't changed one bit. You don't have to hide anymore, Sejuin. These days, everyone wants to make friends with Melusines. And I think that it's all because of you. I'm sorry I couldn't say this until now, but thank you, Dr. Melusine.
Now that's an ending Paimon can get back.
After hearing everything Paten said, I tried to treat him, but I understand.
Oh, it's nothing.
In order to restore the appearance... well, even if...
Well, still... Melusine physiology wasn't affected by the Great Flood, right? So that means the potion should have a permanent effect on you. In that case, what do you say, Sejuin? Ever thought about transforming back to the way you used to? After all, from a Melusine point of view, Paimon bets Melusines look the cutest of all.
Paimon, after everything, do you really think it matters whether I'm Melusine or a human?
Well... What was Paimon thinking?
Leave it to me. I'd like to stay here with my teacher.